the world with 2 toddlers for the first time.
Yeah. So our whole trip was about 30 hours from departure in Washington State until arrival in Manila at our hotel. And then we stayed the night and then we flew
To Jensen.
We flew to Jensen.
So it started at the airport in Pullman. I like your hair, Liam. It was really cold.
Yeah, there was a big snowstorm like the 2 days before we left. Not to mention the volcano erupting, but that was like a whole nother thing. But yeah, in Pullman there was a big snowstorm, so we were kind of like panicked. And even like on our drive to the airport in the morning, there was probably like 4 or 5 inches of fresh snow on the road, and we were like the first car to drive through it at like 4 a.m. And it was... we were a little worried that the planes probably wouldn't be flying.
Yeah, definitely. But it all worked out.
Yeah.
And our little boy has this little mohawk thing.
Yeah, because he slept with a hair tie, so when it came off in the morning, his hair was standing straight up.
And he refuses to have his hair cut. Anyway, so the waiting or the checking in went smoothly in Pullman, which is in Washington.
Yeah, it's a tiny airport. There's only one flight that goes back and forth between Pullman and Seattle, and it goes like 4 or 5 times a day. So at most, there's probably like 30 people checking in, you know. So it's super easy for us, and our bags got routed all the way through to Manila.
And everything is still very exciting and new, and the kids are very excited to pull their luggages, their little luggages.
They think that's fun.
They did that while getting in the plane. So when we got in the airplane...
Well, Liam was still very sleepy because it was, I think our flight took off at 5 a.m. and normally the kids wake up at like 7-ish. So anyway, Liam was still very sleepy, and the excitement wore off like as soon as we took off, and he conked out. But Emma was like...
Yeah, she was awake, she was drawing on my phone, she's just excited. Like, are we gonna fly? Are we flying yet? Are we flying yet?
I'm all buckled.
What's wrong, Em?
You wanted to do that. Are we flying yet?
Can I see it?
Flight over to Seattle.
Flying.
Yes.
Look at the lights outside.
Pull the key out the ignition. Run your mouth but I never listen. You hold me back, will never last. Keep talking all your... Wondering how all this started.
Oh, the landing. What about the landing? Tell them about the landing.
Yeah, well, Liam, he woke up when they turned the lights on, because they usually turn the interior lights on like prior to landing on, early hour or nighttime flights. And when the lights came on, Liam woke up, so I was like, Liam, look out the window. And then, he saw like the city lights of Seattle and the water and all that, and like us coming in for a landing, and he was just super excited because, the first time you see that kind of thing, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was so cool.
especially when you're almost 4 years old.
Yeah.
That was cool.
They're both really curious about like the steps of going in the plane, of like the plane flying and like
Right.
going out the plane. Like they want to know what's happening, and that's very, very cute of them and very smart
Yeah,
of
it's
them
pretty cool.
to like want to be aware of what like the steps of happening.
It's excited to go out.
Alright, let's go.
You got yours, I got mine.
Gosh, it's cold out there.
Second floor.
See my breath.
Yeah, I
in the
can
elevator.
see it. It was very cold. Again, it was very cold, and our luggages are like like full of ice or snow. And
Yeah, well, and it was in Seattle, right, when we got off
Yeah.
the plane, and we had to plane side check our carry-ons because it's a tiny regional jet, and they don't have
Yeah.
space for the standard size carry-ons. So I was waiting outside, and then I was like, Steph, why don't you take the kids in the terminal? But it was like a really long, winding hallway, so they stopped like mid-hallway somewhere because I don't think they wanted to like completely leave me behind. But it was still outside temperature in there, so it was like 10 degrees. they were just sitting in there like shivering when I found them.
Lydia was covered in her blankie and was just like,
Yeah.
and then we got in the elevator and you can still like see your breath
Yeah.
inside the elevator. And then, was that the same, yeah, it was in Seattle airport when she puked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I'm in the bathroom, like trying to wash Emma's blanket in the airport bathroom, just
Yeah.
with like water and soap out of the sink, and it's just like, yeah, it's like filling up with chunks. And anyway, that's too much
I
information.
felt bad for the little girl, but then she felt better when she
Yeah.
puked. So
Yeah, I don't think she was like sick really, you know. It's
Yeah.
just
the air sickness.
the turbulence and stuff. So.
Do you want to tell them about the puke situation? All right. Do you want to tell them? Do you want me to tell them?
I don't know. We got off the plane into Seattle, and it was really cold outside. And Emma was like, didn't want to walk. She wanted to be carried. And I was just thought she was being lazy. And then she got inside the terminal, and she puked all over her blankie and her jacket and stuff. So maybe a little bit of air sickness. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, she ate 3 biscuits on the airplane. Yeah, and as the plane was descending, she was laying down. So that's probably why. Because she was horizontal, laying down while the plane was descending. Anyway, so as soon as we got into the door of the terminal, she just stopped and puked while standing up.
进行过证人手续，并换取由海南空发出的红色登机牌，感谢您的合作。Dear passenger, may I have your attention please? Hainan Airlines putting all transferring passengers to the complete for entry upon us.
I go to get
Here, turn it off if you're gonna take a break, okay? So you don't waste the battery. Hit the little buttons.
And then, while waiting for our plane to Japan, we bumped into an older couple, and the lady was like, "Hey, are you the YouTuber?" And it was super funny. It was cute. right? Like,
Yeah,
I
they
didn't-
were very excited to meet us, and
Yeah.
they were flying through Seoul to Cebu, I think.
to Cebu because
Yeah.
they're doing the same thing. They're moving out of America and living in the Philippines for a while. So she was like, "Yeah, I really understand what you're doing and like good for you." She was like giving me all this old lady wisdom. it was such a fun experience. Ate, gusto mong shout out? I want to do a shout out for you. What's your name again, Ate?
Marisa.
Marisa. Hi, Ate Marisa. Thank you.
I know, it's funny. I was just looking at you over there. I was thinking, she looks so familiar. It's just like the vlogger that I've been watching.
I know.
What was your name?
Brian.
Brian.
My
Hi,
dad.
Brian. Say hi.
Hello.
And then it's time to board.
One of the really cool things about boarding, and I thought the kids were maybe too old for this, because usually when you have like a baby, they'll let you on first so you can, make sure you have space for all your carry-ons and you don't have to deal with the crowd and the pushing and shoving and all that. But we just, we went up there near the front and we were just standing there near the front of the boarding line, and they were like, come on,
Yeah.
go ahead. So on all of our flights, we got on like first without having to deal with any of the, the rush and the hustle and all that. So it was great.
Attention please. Any flight 107 to Toyota is now in its final Your attention for this flight is for ticket is from
You're killing me, Em.
And she has the other two.
All right, let's see. Okay, Mr. Frost and William. Very good.
Thank you. Come on, Liam, go ahead.
Okay, move forward.
Stephanie and Emma. Thank you.
Thank you.
This way, please.
Thank you.
This is lounge what time is the boarding?
What the heck?
We're boarding right now.
Oh shit.
Thank you.
Go flight. I'm wondering where to
So far, there were no crying or tantrums, right?
No, I
Nothing,
think
they
I
were
think the
just-
kids were just so entertained by what we were doing and what was happening. There's so much new, new sensory stuff that they didn't have any issues at all.
They
It's
love
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
They love it. They just have this traveler's hearts.
So when we got on the plane in the big flight, the long flight, the big airplane to Tokyo, we had 4 seats across the center of the plane, which was just awesome because we sandwiched the kids that way they couldn't harass anybody, and they had like a full suite of like movies and games and everything on the plane, so everybody was happy. It was nice.
And the headphones, they worked magically.
Yes.
They really worked well.
Our MPOW, like Amazon Chinese special headphones. They're like $18 or something. They're awesome. They're sized for little kids. They're really great.
The headphones and the tablets that we got for them for Christmas. So it's I kind of feel like it wasn't for them. It was for us to survive in this flight.
For our sanity.
Yes.
Oh, and the other thing that we got. Do you have video of the inflatable
That's
things?
the thing. I did not like record anything because when we inflated them, the plane's already so dark that it's impossible to videotape it.
Steph had this great idea. She spotted these things on Amazon that's like an inflatable brick that goes in the leg area in front of the seat for little kids, so then they can lay down like all the way across the leg area and the seat. So we inflated both of those, and the kids, like, they loved it. They laid on it, they lounged, and they conked out. And
it was a big win for us.
It was a little tight for Emma, but it was big enough that if she was kind of curled up, she could fit, and it was really helped with them.
We landed in Tokyo, and we have how many? 2 hours? An hour? An hour layover?
Yeah, we didn't have much time. I think we had just over an hour by the time we got off the plane, because we were like the last people off the plane, and we had so much stuff to get organized, and you know, because in order to make the kids comfortable and to make the flight tolerable, we like set up camp. We have like a whole nest in there, right, in this like center part of the plane. So we let everybody off. It probably took us like an extra 20 or 30 minutes to actually get off the plane. So anyway, by the time we were in there, I think we had just like a little over an hour.
Yeah.
And the kids were like trying to sleep, kind of. I think we were like carrying both of them.
Yeah, they were both.
They didn't want to walk.
That's when Emma actually wanted to sleep.
And then Emma was they were having some trouble because they were both so tired and they didn't want to walk.
And I didn't record it, but that's when I put Emma on the ground to sleep at the airport. Probably not a good idea because of hygiene, but it worked.
It was the only space.
She already has a pukey blanket, so I don't think it's gonna hurt anything.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Where are you going? Then when we got on the plane from Tokyo to Manila, that's when you were really tired, right?
So the flight from Tokyo to Manila was like 4.5, 5 hours, and it was like just the ideal time where in our normal schedule we would all like be in deep sleep, you know, like the midnight to 5, 6 a.m. hours. And the kids, we inflated the little foot things, and the kids just conked out. And then I fell asleep, and I don't know if you fell asleep, but it was amazing because they actually slept like the whole flight, the kids did.
Yeah, that 4-hour flight they slept. And then we arrived. Hey Dad, Mike, welcome to the Philippines. Hey Emma.
We're not outside the Philippines.
Oh, we're still inside the airport, yeah? So we're not in the Philippines yet?
No.
Incoming passenger Yelena Baptisma, incoming passenger Yelena Baptisma, kindly please.
Why pa? No ashfall though.
We got into Manila, and everybody was really tired, but we were also really stoked to be there and to like have survived getting to the Philippines without any like major fiascos. And the kids like actually were, you know, alive and like kicking because they slept a little bit. There was no like I subscribed to like a internet service while we were on the plane, even though, you know, just spent a little bit of money for it so that we could get updates on Taal and see if there was like, you know, as we're like coming in for a landing, if the freaking volcano erupted. Oh, that's your phone.
Yeah, it's fine.
So anyway, yeah, the volcano was quiet. There was no like ash fall in the air when we were looking out the windows as we walked into the airport, and we made it. Good morning, Philippines! Good morning, Liam!
Wait.
Good morning, Emma!
We just flied on the last airplane to the Philippines.
Whoa! Yeah, so we just we just got into Manila last night, and it worked out pretty well because we were the last ones off the plane because both the kids were sleeping, and we had like a nest that we created in the seats, which is so much crap. And then when we got to the baggage claim, we finally made it through customs and we got the Balik Bayan visa, and we got to baggage claim. They had our bags waiting for us, so we just grabbed them, and then we waited for a few minutes for the shuttle from our hotel, which was pretty reasonably priced, and then we got into the hotel, took a shower, and went to sleep. But all in all, the travel experience was pretty good, considering there was a few moments where things got a little bit rough, like we were rushed in our layover. I'm really excited now to spend some time, doing what we came here to do, and I missed it a lot. It's really cool to see just like the streets and the culture and stuff. So anyway, which one's I think it's this. Oh no, it's this way. Yeah.
Yeah, we are right. We use the boat.
What's wrong, Em? You don't like the milk? Look at that. Oh, you want it warm? Well, I think we should just be happy that we have milk. Hey, buddy.
Do you want to sit here in the middle? Come on.
By the time we waited for the shuttle and we made it to the hotel and we got checked in and all that, it was probably like an hour and a half more. So it was like, I don't know, 2 a.m. local or something by the time we got to sleep, and the kids slept. We all slept like solid until like 8 a.m., which was just awesome, because even with the time change, we were just so beat that we slept great, and we were like, from that point on, we were like pretty closely synced to the new time.
And then was the first taste of the Philippines, the humidity, when we went and grabbed some SIM cards, because we needed a phone number, a Philippine phone number.
Alright, so here we are getting load for the cell phones. Hi, Steph. And it's just like I remember being back in the city. Oh, Manila. Cheapest cigarettes you could ever find. It's like a garage and a chicken.
That was fun, walking in the streets of Manila or Pasay.
Yeah, it'd been a while since I've been in the city.
Remember that chicken in the garage?
Yeah, it's just awesome, because you're like, it's like a bustling urban center, right? And you're walking down, and then you hear a chicken, you hear a rooster, in some building, like in the middle of the city.
It's cool. More fun in the Philippines, like they say.
TITP.
Yeah, Mike created this whole TITP thing.
This is the Philippines.
And so the next day, that same day that we went to grab our phone numbers, our new SIM cards, is our flight to Jensan, General Santos City. Hi guys. So we are at the airport right now.
Yep. And you know what? We was watching 2 airplanes fly, but I don't know if the other airplane just flied, but
Where are we going? Who are we going to see?
to Nuda.
Yeah, we're going to Jensen.
Yeah.
And
But we're just waiting a little bit.
yes, we're gonna be boarding 20 minutes from now. I can't hear myself.
Can't hear yourself?
Yeah, because it's very loud.
I can hear myself.
Hi, Dad. Alright, so good news is that there are no ashfall. It's pretty clear outside. We were pretty worried about the volcano situation before we flew, but
Yeah.
now everything is okay. Airport is open.
I don't know where the volcano is.
And we're gonna
Where
be
is
in
the
Jensen
volcano?
soon.
Where is the volcano?
Up north.
I don't like volcanoes.
Yeah, it was a pretty normal flight. It was interesting. It was different, I guess, for me though, because they do trivia and they give out prizes on the Cebu Pacific flights. I've never seen that before, so that was kind of funny. One other thing though, I just remembered was really funny is the flight from Seattle to Tokyo. The boarding and everything was like very organized, very quiet, very calm. Everybody like patiently moving, you know, directly to their seats and sitting down. And then the flight from Tokyo to Manila was like complete ridiculous chaos, like people arguing and yelling and going back and forth, and they can't find their seats, and they're like, this is just, it's like Filipino style instead of Japanese style, right? Because the majority of the people flying to Manila are Filipinos.
Yeah.
It's just like pure chaos, and the stewardesses are all frustrated and everything.
No. Remember who was yelling at the airplane in that flight?
Who?
It was American.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
whatever. It was people going to the Philippines.
No, it was a white guy who was screaming.
There was
at
a
the stewardess.
bunch of people complaining and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we arrived in Jensen. Anyway, and then they saw Lola! They were so happy. Look, well, my mom was very happy to see the kids. Yeah. Then, yeah, I think that's it for the flight. For the whole flight with 2 tiny kids, 2 small children. All in all, what can you say about it?
Pretty smooth.
I think that was pretty smooth, except for the puking part. But that's pretty much it. It was a fun experience.
Worth it.
It's worth it. Well, for us, what worked were the headphones, the tablets, and those inflatable cubes, chair things. Yeah. All right. Well, we're very happy. We're here now in Jensen, and we're staying in Jensen, guys. We'll explain that to you in the next video. Bye.